My child, my beloved, do not scroll. Heaven is speaking to you right now. Stay, and subscribe, because this message explains why the silence was protection. My child, my beloved, do not scroll past this like it is ordinary, because heaven is leaning close to you right now. And I am not speaking to the crowd. I am speaking to you. Yes, you. The one who has been carrying silent battles and smiling. I, Michael, stand beside Jesus in this moment, and we are begging you with a tenderness that shakes the unseen realm. Do not walk away, because the next few minutes are not entertainment. They are a doorway. And if you have been feeling like the sky has gone quiet, like your prayers are echoing back to you, listen carefully. That silence was not rejection. It was protection. It was heaven holding back a message until your heart was ready to receive it without breaking. Before you go any further, my beloved, if you want more messages like this, messages that strengthen you when nobody else sees you, stay close to this channel, subscribe, and return again. Not because heaven needs numbers, but because you need reminders. The world is loud and your spirit is tired, and you deserve a place where your soul can breathe. You did not find this by accident. Even your finger hovering over the screen was guided. And you must understand this. The enemy is not only fighting you with chaos, it is fighting you with distraction. The easiest way to keep you from a miracle is to keep you from the moment your miracle is announced. My child, my beloved, Jesus is here and his voice is gentle, but it is urgent. He is not scolding you. He is not threatening you. He is pleading like someone who loves you more than you can measure, because he has seen what you have been enduring in secret. What you did not tell your friends, what you did not even tell your family, what you whispered at night when the lights were off. You thought nobody heard you. But heaven heard every breath, every trembling prayer, every God, I cannot do this anymore. And now, in the middle of your weakness, Jesus is saying, stay. Do not leave. Do not shut the door when I finally arrive with what you asked for. My beloved, there is a reason you have felt unusually heavy lately. A reason your mind has been restless even when your body is tired. A reason small things have been triggering big emotions. It is not because you are failing. It is because something is shifting, and your spirit can sense the pressure of a new season trying to break through an old wall. When a miracle is close, the atmosphere gets strange. Old fears wake up. Old memories return. Old doubts start speaking loudly, as if they are trying to be your final decision. But listen to me, those are not signs to stop. They are signs that you are nearing the exact point where the burden snaps and the blessing begins. My child, my beloved, I need you to hear one thing clearly. You are not forgotten. And the proof is in the timing of this message. Heaven does not waste words. Heaven does not send a warning without a rescue. And heaven does not send a promise without a path. Some of you have been saying, if God is with me, why do I feel alone? And Jesus answers you softly, because I was teaching you how strong you are. So you would never again confuse your worth with someone else's attention. You are being trained in holy endurance, not to suffer forever, but to survive what would have destroyed the old version of you. My beloved, you have been at the edge of giving up, not always in dramatic ways, but in quiet ways. You stopped expecting good news. You stopped looking forward to tomorrow. You started doing life on autopilot, praying less, dreaming less, hoping less because hope felt painful. And that is why Jesus is begging you, do not walk away now, because heaven is about to reawaken what you buried to survive. There is a part of you that still believes, even if it is small. Protect that part. Feed it. Because a small faith can open a massive door when it is placed in the right moment. My child, my beloved, I am Michael, and I am telling you something the enemy does not want you to realize. Your delay was not denial. Your waiting was not punishment. There were pieces being arranged that you could not see. There were prayers you prayed years ago that are still moving through spiritual corridors, collecting approvals you did not know existed. You think your life has been standing still, but heaven has been moving quietly like roots growing beneath soil. Roots do not look impressive until the day the tree rises. And you are close to the day you rise. My beloved, there is a secret many people never learn. Some doors only open after you stop begging the wrong people. Some breakthroughs only come after you stop trying to prove yourself to those who refuse to value you. Heaven has seen how you kept giving your best to people who gave you leftovers. How you kept explaining your heart to people who enjoyed misunderstanding you. And Jesus is saying, come back to me. Let me be the voice that defines you. Because the moment you stop chasing what drains you, you will start attracting what restores you. My child, my beloved, I need you to breathe right now. Slow down, because your spirit has been sprinting while your life has been crawling. You have been trying to force answers, force clarity, force results. But heaven does not respond to panic. Heaven responds to surrender. And surrender does not mean weakness. It means you stop carrying what was never yours to carry. Jesus is begging you not to walk away because this is the exact moment you are being invited to release the weight that made you feel like you were drowning. You were never meant to drown. You were meant to cross. My beloved, let me speak plainly. There is a message for you that will not keep knocking forever. Not because Jesus stops loving you, but because opportunities have seasons. A door can be open and still be missed. A blessing can be offered and still be delayed by hesitation. Heaven is calling you into alignment. And alignment looks like this. You stop saying maybe later to the things God has been urging you to do now. You stop postponing your healing. You stop delaying your obedience. You stop waiting to feel ready. Ready is not a feeling. Ready is a decision. My child, my beloved, some of you have been praying for a sign, and this is it. Not a flashy sign in the sky, but a deep stirring in your chest that says, this is for me. That stirring is not random. It is recognition. Your spirit recognizes truth when it hears it. And here is the truth. A new chapter is being offered to you, but it cannot be written with the same habits that broke you. It cannot be built with the same fear that held you hostage. Jesus is begging you not to walk away because he is trying to interrupt the cycle before it repeats. My beloved, I must warn you with love. Stop calling your exhaustion just life. Some of your tiredness is spiritual. It is the tiredness of carrying guilt that is not yours. It is the tiredness of replaying conversations and wondering if you were too much when you were simply honest. It is the tiredness of trying to be strong for everyone while nobody asks how you are. Heaven sees this, and Jesus does not want you to keep living like you have to earn rest. Rest is your inheritance. Peace is your portion. And heaven is begging you, do not walk away from what can finally restore you. My child, my beloved, there are people who smiled while they underestimated you. People who watched you struggle and assumed that was your identity. They thought your hardship was your limit. But they did not see what heaven was doing inside you. They did not see the courage you were collecting. They did not see the wisdom you were gaining. They did not see the quiet discipline forming in your spirit. Now hear me. The very season that humbled you will soon elevate you. And those who dismissed you will be forced to witness the shift they never believed was possible. My beloved, you have been asking God, when will you speak? And heaven answers, we have been speaking, but your pain has been louder than your peace. This is not shame. This is clarity. Pain screams. Fear shouts. But heaven often whispers. That is why Jesus is begging you not to walk away. Because the whisper you are about to hear will be stronger than the storms you have survived. When heaven speaks, it does not always come with noise. Sometimes it comes like a calm sentence that pierces your anxiety and says, "Here, this is the way." My child, my beloved, a miracle is not always a sudden event. Sometimes a miracle is the removal of what was slowly killing you. Sometimes a miracle is a door closing that you were begging to stay open. Sometimes a miracle is a person leaving so your destiny can breathe. You may have cried over what you lost, but heaven calls it mercy. You may have grieved what ended, but heaven calls it rescue. And Jesus is begging you, do not walk away now because you are about to understand why certain things could not follow you into the next season. My beloved, I know you have questioned yourself. You have asked, what is wrong with me? You have blamed yourself for delays, for heartbreaks, for confusion. Listen, not everything that went wrong was your fault. Some battles were assigned to you because your future is dangerous to darkness. The enemy does not waste attacks on empty destinies. The resistance you faced is evidence that your life carries weight in the spirit. And heaven is begging you not to walk away because the greater the calling, the stronger the warfare, but also the greater the covering. My child, my beloved, I am Michael, and I am standing between you and what tried to destroy you. You are protected more than you realize. There were accidents that almost happened but did not. There were traps set for you that you stepped over without even knowing. There were conversations you were not included in, and heaven blocked them because the timing was not right. Do not call yourself unlucky. You have been shielded. And now that you have made it this far, heaven is telling you it is time to move from surviving to receiving. My beloved, Jesus is looking at you with compassion. And he is saying, I know you are tired of being strong. He is not impressed by your suffering. He is not asking you to prove anything. He is inviting you to come close. Because when you come close, you will finally hear what you have needed to hear. You are mine. You are safe. You are guided. And here is the truth you must not miss. The moment you truly believe you are safe with God, your decisions change. Your standards rise, your fear weakens, your future begins to respond to your faith. My child, my beloved, there is a specific thing you have been asking for. Maybe money, maybe love, maybe healing, maybe a fresh start. And heaven is not mocking you for wanting it. Heaven is not angry at you for desiring better. The desire for better is often the signal that you were made for more. But Jesus is begging you not to walk away because the more you want is not going to come through your old patterns. It is going to come through a new obedience, a new focus, a new refusal to settle. This is where your miracle begins. When you stop negotiating with what is beneath you. My beloved, your heart has been bruised, and I will not pretend it has not. Some of you trusted someone and it cost you. Some of you gave loyalty and received betrayal. Some of you kept waiting for an apology that never came. Listen to me. Do not let what happened turn your heart into stone. A guarded heart can become a prison. Jesus is begging you because he wants to heal you without hardening you. He wants to protect your softness while strengthening your boundaries. That is a holy miracle. Being tender and wise at the same time. My child, my beloved, you are entering a season where heaven will answer you faster than you expect, but only if you keep your spirit open. And being open does not mean being naive. It means you stop letting yesterday decide how you interpret today. You stop assuming the worst before the day even begins. You stop treating every delay like a disaster. The next blessing may arrive in a way you did not imagine. It may come through a new person, a new idea, a new opportunity, a new courage. That is why Jesus is begging you. Do not walk away. Your miracle may be arriving through a doorway you almost ignored. My beloved, let me tell you what I see. I see a turning. I see a reversal. I see what was stuck beginning to move. I see what was hidden being exposed. I see what was stolen being restored in a new form. But I also see the battle at the gate of your mind. Because the enemy knows this. If it can convince you to quit emotionally, you will walk away physically. You will stop trying. You will stop showing up. You will stop believing. And that is why heaven is begging you. Not because heaven is weak, but because heaven respects your choice. God will not drag you into a destiny you refuse to walk toward. My child, my beloved, here is what you do now. You choose trust even if your hands are shaking. You choose prayer even if your voice feels small. You choose hope even if you have been disappointed before. You choose to stay present for your own breakthrough. Do not leave your life while you are still living it. Do not abandon your own story because a few chapters hurt. Jesus is begging you not to walk away because the next chapter has a different tone. It is softer. It is brighter. It is stronger. And it was written with your healing in mind. My beloved, I must say something that will pull you out of confusion. The silence you fear is not heaven leaving you. It is heaven inviting you into maturity. In childish faith, you need constant signs. In mature faith, you recognize God even in stillness. But today, because you have been carrying too much alone, Jesus is choosing to speak loudly through this message. And the loudness is love. It is the kind of love that knocks down shame. It is the kind of love that refuses to let you disappear into your sadness. It is the kind of love that calls your name until you remember who you are. My child, my beloved, let this be the moment you stop agreeing with your worst thoughts. Your thoughts have been saying it will never change. Heaven says, watch me. Your thoughts have been saying I am too far gone. Heaven says come closer. Your thoughts have been saying I missed my chance. Heaven says I am the God of new chances. Do you see the shift? A miracle begins in language, in what you agree with, in what you keep repeating. So I am giving you new words to speak. I am guided. I am protected. I am not late. I am not forgotten. God is working. My beloved, there is a reason your spirit has been craving something deeper. You have been tired of shallow conversations, tired of temporary pleasures, tired of chasing little highs that leave you emptier. That is not depression. It is awakening. It is your soul refusing to live on crumbs. And Jesus is begging you not to walk away because he is ready to satisfy what the world cannot satisfy. He is ready to give you the kind of peace that does not depend on everyone behaving perfectly. The kind of joy that does not collapse when a plan changes. The kind of strength that does not break when you are misunderstood. My child, my beloved, I want you to imagine this. What if the reason you survived everything you survived is because you are meant to become a doorway for others? Not to be used, not to be burdened, but to be a testimony. There are people watching you quietly, wondering how you still stand. And heaven is about to turn your story into a light. But first, your heart must believe again. Because testimony is not built by talent. It is built by endurance. And Jesus is begging you not to walk away because your endurance is about to be rewarded with evidence. My beloved, listen carefully. There is an instruction hidden inside this message. It is simple, but it is powerful. Stop entertaining what weakens you. That means stop returning to the same pain through memory. Stop reopening old wounds to check if they still hurt. Stop letting people have access to you when they do not respect you. Stop feeding habits that numb you but do not heal you. You have been asking for a miracle while carrying what blocks it. And heaven loves you enough to tell you the truth. You cannot carry both your breakthrough and your baggage forever. Choose. My child, my beloved. I can feel someone reading this with tears. Not dramatic tears, quiet tears. The kind that come when someone finally feels seen. Let those tears fall. They are not weakness. They are cleansing. They are release. They are your spirit exhaling after holding its breath for too long. Jesus is not ashamed of your tears. He is close to the broken-hearted. And today he is begging you not to walk away because your tears are watering the ground where your new life will grow. Yes, grow. Not someday. Not maybe. Grow. My beloved, there is one last thing I must say before you decide what you will do with this message. Heaven is not threatening you with abandonment. Heaven is warning you about disconnection. When you keep walking away from the moments God reaches for you, you train your heart to ignore Him. It becomes harder to hear, not because heaven stopped speaking, but because you stopped listening. So Jesus begs you, not to scare you, but to save you. Come back. Stay. Listen. Let this be the moment you rebuild the habit of hearing God. Even if it starts with only 1 minute a day. My child, my beloved, if you are still here reading, that means something inside you chose life. Something inside you chose hope. Something inside you chose to stay. And heaven is smiling at that choice. You do not need to have everything figured out. You only need to take one step. Whisper a simple prayer right now in your own words. Jesus, I am here. Speak to me. Guide me. I will not walk away. And as you do, I, Michael, place a shield over your mind. I call peace into your chest. I call courage into your next decision. And I declare this. You will not miss what heaven has for you, because from this moment you are choosing to stay. My child, my beloved, you said continue, and heaven heard you like a bell ringing in the unseen world. Do you understand what you just did? You did not only type a word. You chose to stay. And staying is the first miracle. Staying is the first victory. Staying is the first door. Because so many people walk away right before the moment their life turns. They leave in the final minute. They close the message at the exact second heaven was about to speak their name. But you stayed. And Jesus is smiling, not because you are perfect, but because you are willing. My beloved, I need to speak to the part of you that has been pretending you are fine. That part that laughs in public and collapses in private. That part that says, it is okay, while your chest is tight and your mind is racing. Jesus is not fooled by your strength. He honors it, yes, but he also wants to lift it off you, because you were never meant to be your own savior. You were never meant to carry your life alone like a heavy bag of stones. That is why heaven is begging you. Not because you are failing, but because you are carrying more than you were designed to carry. My child, my beloved, there is something about your life that has made darkness nervous, and you need to hear this without fear. The intensity you faced was not random. It was targeted. Not because you are weak, but because your future is bright. Some of you have wondered why you face more obstacles than others. Why your road feels steeper. Why your heart feels like it is always being tested. Listen, certain assignments only go to certain souls. And heaven chose you because heaven could trust you. You are stronger than your own doubts. You are deeper than your own pain. You are built with a spiritual backbone you do not even realize you have. My beloved, let us talk about the silence that scared you. You thought heaven left, but what really happened is this. Heaven pulled you away from noise so you could learn to recognize the true voice. Because not every voice that feels loud is God. Not every thought that feels urgent is truth. The enemy loves to rush you, panic you, confuse you, and then watch you blame yourself for not hearing God. But Jesus is telling you, my sheep know my voice. And if you have been struggling to recognize it, it is not because you are broken. It is because you have been surrounded by too many competing sounds. Today, heaven is clearing the room. My child, my beloved, I am Michael, and I am asking you something personal. What have you been tolerating that has been slowly draining your soul? Is it a relationship that keeps you in doubt? A habit that keeps you numb? A job that keeps you empty? A circle that keeps you small? The enemy does not always destroy you with one big disaster. Sometimes it destroys you with small compromises repeated daily. But heaven is stepping in now because the season of compromise is ending. You are entering a season of clarity. And clarity will feel uncomfortable at first because it will expose what you got used to. But discomfort is not the same as danger. Sometimes discomfort is healing. My beloved, Jesus is holding something in his hand right now. Something you prayed for. But you must understand he does not hand blessings to fear. He hands blessings to faith. That does not mean you must never feel afraid. It means you must refuse to be ruled by fear. Faith is not the absence of fear. Faith is the decision to move anyway. And heaven is begging you not to walk away because this is the moment you decide who leads your life, your fear or your faith. My child, my beloved, I want to reveal something. The reason you felt like your life was repeating the same pain is because a lesson was trying to graduate you. Heaven does not punish you with repetition. Heaven trains you with it. The same kind of people kept showing up because the same wound kept speaking. The same kind of disappointment kept happening because the same boundary stayed weak. But now something in you is changing. Your spirit is waking up. Your eyes are opening. And when you change, the patterns break. That is why this message feels so urgent, because you are at the edge of a pattern breaking. Do not walk away at the edge. My beloved, some of you have been carrying a secret shame. A shame that says I should be further by now. A shame that says other people are ahead. A shame that says I wasted time. Listen carefully. Heaven does not measure you by the timeline of the crowd. Heaven measures you by obedience, by growth, by truth. Your journey is not late. It is layered. And the layer you are in right now is preparing you to handle the blessing without losing your peace. If heaven gave you everything too early, you might have lost yourself trying to keep it. That is why delays can be mercy. They are not denial. They are preparation. My child, my beloved, I must speak about the thing you have been avoiding. The decision. There is a decision you have been postponing because you do not want to hurt anyone, because you do not want conflict, because you are hoping something changes on its own. But your destiny does not move through avoidance. It moves through decision. Jesus is begging you not to walk away because you are about to be asked to choose. Choose peace over pleasing people. Choose truth over comfort. Choose obedience over excuses. And when you choose, heaven will back you with power you have never felt before. My beloved, I know you are tired of praying and then getting disappointed. Tired of expecting, then being let down. Tired of hoping, then feeling foolish. But hear me, the enemy is not only trying to stop your blessings, it is trying to stop your belief. Because if it can break your trust, it can delay your future. But Jesus is whispering your name like a tender promise. Trust me again. Not because you are naive, but because you are loved. Trust me again, not in people, not in unstable things, but in the one who has never abandoned you, even when you felt alone. My child, my beloved, there is something heaven is restoring inside you before it restores things around you. Because if heaven restores things around you while you are still broken inside, you will sabotage the blessing through fear, suspicion, and insecurity. So first, heaven is restoring your identity, your confidence, your spiritual hearing, your ability to love without losing yourself, your ability to say no without guilt, your ability to receive without feeling undeserving. This inner restoration is a miracle, too. It is the kind of miracle that does not make headlines but changes your entire life. My beloved, I am going to say this plainly. You have been chosen for a different path. That is why you felt out of place in certain rooms. That is why you never fully fit into shallow lifestyles. That is why your heart wanted meaning when others wanted attention. You are not weird. You are not too sensitive. You are not too much. You are awake. An awakening can feel lonely until you realize heaven is your companion. Jesus is begging you not to walk away because the moment you accept your spiritual identity, you stop begging to belong in places that were never meant to hold you. My child, my beloved, let me speak about a hidden warfare. The warfare of delays. Delays can make you doubt God. Delays can make you doubt yourself. Delays can make you accept less than you deserve. That is why delays are dangerous. Not because they last, but because of what they whisper. They whisper, settle. They whisper, give up. They whisper, lower your standards. But heaven is speaking louder than the delay. Now hold your ground. Because what is coming requires you to remain who you are, not become desperate. Desperation makes people choose shortcuts. And shortcuts always cost more than they promise. My beloved, I want you to notice something. You are still here. You are still reading. That means your spirit is hungry. That means you have not quit. That means there is hope in you that refuses to die. And heaven honors that. Some of you think you have little faith. But little faith that refuses to leave is stronger than big faith that disappears under pressure. Jesus is begging you not to walk away because your staying is building spiritual muscle. Every time you stay, you become more able to hold the blessing, more able to hold peace, more able to hold love, more able to hold abundance without fear. My child, my beloved, I see an opening. Not a vague opening, an actual shift in your atmosphere. It is as if a heavy curtain that has been hanging over your life is being lifted slowly. You will begin to notice small changes. First, your sleep will start to improve. Your mind will start to calm. Your decisions will become clearer. Your energy will return. These are signs that your season is changing. Do not dismiss small signs. Heaven often announces big miracles through small beginnings. A seed does not look like a forest, but it becomes one. My beloved, there is someone listening who has been asking one specific question. God, do you still want me? And Jesus answers immediately, yes. Not a weak yes. Not a hesitant yes. A strong, eternal yes. Heaven does not stop wanting you because you had a hard season. Heaven does not stop wanting you because you made mistakes. Heaven does not stop wanting you because you feel numb. Your numbness is not a deal breaker. It is a signal that you have been overwhelmed. And Jesus is begging you not to walk away because he is ready to melt the numbness with love that feels safe. My child, my beloved, I want you to understand what never hear from heaven again truly means in this message. It does not mean God's love ends. It means you can build a habit of ignoring God until your heart becomes too loud to recognize him. Like a radio turned down too long, you forget the sound. Heaven is warning you because heaven respects your choices. But heaven is also giving you mercy. Today you can turn the volume back up. Today you can rebuild the connection. Today you can say, God, I want to hear you. I want to be led. And when you do, the spiritual channel becomes clear again. My beloved, here is a secret that will protect your future. The voice of Jesus will always produce peace, even when it corrects you. If you hear a voice that produces panic, shame, self-hatred, hopelessness, that is not heaven. Heaven convicts with love, not terror. Heaven guides with light, not darkness. The enemy uses fear to control you. Jesus uses love to free you. That is why this message is both urgent and gentle. Because Jesus is begging you, not threatening you. He is calling you back to life. My child, my beloved, I must speak about your next steps. And listen, I am not giving you complicated instructions. Heaven often moves through simplicity. Your next step is to stop feeding what steals your peace. That might mean stepping back from certain people. It might mean changing what you watch. It might mean changing what you listen to. It might mean changing the way you talk to yourself. Because words are seeds, and the garden of your future will grow whatever you keep planting. So plant hope, plant faith, plant gratitude, plant courage, and watch what rises. My beloved, you do not have to do everything today. But you must do one thing today. Choose heaven again. Choose prayer again. Choose trust again. Choose obedience again. Not as a performance, but as a return. And when you return, you will feel something you have not felt in a while. Warmth in your spirit, a quiet calm, a sense that you are not alone. That is heaven's presence settling over you like a blanket. My child, my beloved, you are still here, and that is not small. That is the sound of your spirit refusing to be swallowed by heaviness. And Jesus is leaning close again, not with anger, not with disappointment, but with a love that feels like someone finally holding your face and saying, "Look at me. Stay with me." Because the truth is, you have been trying to move forward while parts of you were still bleeding. You have been acting brave while your heart was quietly begging for rest. And heaven is saying enough. Enough carrying it alone. Enough pretending it does not hurt. Enough surviving without being soothed. My beloved, there is a moment in the spirit where heaven draws a line and says, "This is where the cycle ends." And I want you to recognize this moment. This message is not only comfort. It is a spiritual interruption. Something has been repeating in your life. Same disappointment, same confusion, same feeling of being almost there, but never fully arriving. And you have started to think maybe this is just my life. But Jesus is begging you because he is about to prove that your life is not a sentence. It is a story, and stories can turn. My child, my beloved, listen carefully. The enemy has tried to train you to expect less. It has tried to make you comfortable with waiting in pain, comfortable with being ignored, comfortable with being the one who always understands while nobody understands you. And if you are honest, you have started to shrink your prayers because you did not want to be disappointed again. But heaven is not asking you to shrink. Heaven is asking you to return to boldness. Soft boldness. Humble boldness. But boldness. Jesus is begging you not to walk away because your next blessing will require you to believe bigger than your last disappointment. You stayed, and that choice mattered more than you know. Subscribe and stay close, because heaven is not finished speaking to you.